Submitting information to post. Here's your guide to complaint and incident reporting for law enforcement agencies. Today, we will outline the requirements for submitting reports to post and also detail the key information that must be included. In our agenda today, we will provide guidance to you on complaint and incident reporting, mainly to address delays in timely submissions to post, but also to help clarify the process. So today we will cover submission requirements, guidance on filing complaints, subsequent submissions, meaning internal affairs reports or dispositions, key dates, and the available resources. Agencies must submit credible complaints and incident reports to post within 2 business days. To assist with this relatively short time frame, the Law Enforcement Agency portal has streamlined the timely reporting, tracking, and managing of time extensions. So what allegations or complaints are required to be submitted to post? Any incident that results in discipline, an internal affairs investigation, or any allegations of prohibited conduct per MGL Chapter 6E. And that includes all allegations of bias regarding any of the protected classes. Also, all complaints of excessive force, including those causing serious injury or death, are presumed credible and must be reported. Further, any use of force prompting an internal affairs review is reportable, regardless of the investigation's outcome. Incidents that result in serious bodily injury or death, including all officer-involved shootings, and that is reportable whether or not there was a complainant involved. Unprofessional conduct, which means policy or procedure violations, conformance to laws, conduct unbecoming, untruthfulness, ethics violations, prohibited conduct, incompetence, and unfitness for duty. Keep in mind that unprofessional conduct is the only category that includes an exception for minor matters. So let's take a deep dive into minor matters. Unprofessional conduct, again, is the only category with an exclusion for minor matters. Minor matters include discourtesy, tardiness, inattention to detail, equipment or grooming violations, and basic work rule violations. Now, minor matters do not need to be reported if the agency has implemented an informal resolution process, such as verbal counseling or letters of counsel. Documentation must be provided to post upon request. Please note that interactions with the public, ethics violations, and the handling of finances are not considered minor matters and must be reported. An agency shall forward any pattern of complaints alleging the misconduct of an officer to the Commission. Let's go through a couple of examples of reportable and non-reportable complaints. So let's take a look at the first example. An officer is alleged to have inappropriately discharged pepper spray into a crowd. Is this reportable? Yes, it is, because all use of force complaints are reportable. In example 2, an officer is under internal investigation due to job performance issues, facing allegations of conduct unbecoming and incompetence from their sergeant. Is this reportable? Yes, it is, because this is categorized as unprofessional conduct and is an internal incident, even though it was not initiated by a member of the public. In example 3, a matter not previously reported to post because it had not been deemed credible subsequently results in a demand letter with a threat of or actual civil suit. Is this reportable? Yes, because in the scenario described, meaning a demand letter or threat of civil suit, there is presumably new information that must be considered. But even if there's no new information, please report that to post. As a general matter, all allegations should have a presumption of credibility, and interactions with the public are not considered minor matters. In the next example, an officer accidentally drops their department-issued laptop, causing the screen to break. Per department policy, an investigation is required to document the damage. Is this reportable? No, because equipment violations are considered minor matters. And example 5. An officer fails to submit a report within a specified time frame, which is a minor violation of department rules. Is this reportable? No, it is not, because basic work rule violations are considered minor matters. Example 6. While an officer is administering first aid to a civilian, another civilian interferes with an officer's efforts, which prompts the officer to be dismissive. A complaint is then filed, alleging that the officer was discourteous. Is this reportable? No, it is not. Although this scenario involves an interaction with the public, it is not reportable. Discourtesy is considered a minor matter. However, if the member of the public alleges bias, excessive force, or actions that resulted in serious bodily injury or death, the complaint is reportable to Post because those three categories have no exceptions for minor matters. Example 7. The department has a policy where officers must turn their body-worn camera on when interacting with the public. An officer fails to follow procedure and does not turn their camera on when responding to a call for service. This is reportable because interactions with the public are not considered minor matters. In the next example, an officer violates the no pursuit policy when chasing a suspect. This is reportable because interactions with the public, whether or not they are suspected of any wrongdoing, are reportable. The term complaints is not limited to an outside party submitting a formal written complaint. Complaints and incident reports can be internal or external and come from any source at any time. There is no statute of limitations. Reports to Post must include internal allegations and investigations of unprofessional conduct and any incidents that may result in discipline. And please note that all complaints, including anonymous complaints, should have a presumption of credibility. It is only after some due diligence that the lack of credibility can be ascertained. Agencies may take additional time in excess of those 2 business days to ascertain the credibility of a particular complaint, as long as the time frame is reasonable. For additional information on submitting information to Post, including minor matters, please see our guidance to law enforcement agencies and prosecuting offices regarding 555 CMR 1 and 6. You will find this under Regulations, Advisories, and Guidance on our website, mapostcommission.gov. Per the regulations, internal affairs investigations must be completed within 90 days or you must ask Post for an extension of time. The agency has 14 days to initiate the internal affairs investigation after learning of the incident and has 90 days to complete the investigation. However, you do not need to wait to report to Post if the investigation is done sooner. Immediately report the result of the investigation. Report to Post any associated disposition and/or discipline. Also report to Post if a disposition or discipline is reversed or vacated in favor of the officer, and also if the agency head recommends decertification. Please note that in your submission. Now let's go over the complaints and incident reporting key dates to keep in mind. Here are some key dates to keep in mind. Submit complaints and incident reports within 2 business days to Post. Open an internal affairs investigation within 14 days, and upon completion of the internal affairs investigation, immediately forward the results, including associated developments such as discipline, resignation, or termination. Also note that Post can initiate revocation proceedings within 1 year of the incident or the agency's final disposition, whichever occurs first. We have a lot of helpful resources for you, so let's go over them. We have our new website, mapostcommission.gov. When you're on our website, go to the top right corner. You will see a section for law enforcement agencies in blue in the upper right corner. You can also find a link to this through additional resources and agency report submissions on the main page of our website. Once you click on Law Enforcement Agency Reporting, you will see 4 sections. A complaint and incident reporting overview, which contains all the information that we have gone over today with you. Resources for new chiefs, anyone getting involved and needing some onboarding, we have that help. Law Enforcement Agency Portal login, you can log in directly to the portal from our website. And we also have change request forms for those of you who might be putting in disciplinary records. You can also change and request changes through that form as well. Once you are in the complaint and incident reporting overview page, you will see all of the information regarding complaints and minor matters and definitions as we have talked about here today. Additionally, there are other resources on our website. Regulations 555 CMR 1 on procedural rules, Regulations 555 CMR 6 on the use of force, guidance to law enforcement agencies and prosecuting offices regarding 555 CMR 1 and 6, frequently asked questions. We have a fact sheet, an officer status change form, and some video content that will be helpful as well. As mentioned before, you can also log directly into the LEA portal from our website. You can see the link right there. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please contact us with any questions if you have any doubts. Err on the side of submission, or please contact the Division of Standards via email at postcreports@mass.gov, or you can always call 617-701-8421. We welcome your phone calls and emails, and we are happy to provide guidance to you at any time. Thank you.